Hello, welcome everyone to Soul Connections. I'm your host, Polly Jo Labbe, here on our YouTube channel, the Trinity Temple of Sacred Wisdom. Thank you for joining us tonight. We are here to help you reconnect with your soul. And it's really more about getting to that centered place where we hear our guidance, we hear the wisdom that's coming through, and we can use that to propel us forward in our life and our life's purpose. And we do that through a healing meditation, helping to release anything that's keeping us or resisting the energy of being our fullest, highest self. And then we invite in messages to come through from your spiritual team, guides, angels, and my team will facilitate that. And we'll be using some oracle cards. And tonight's cards are the female archangels. They wanted to come out and play tonight, and this is Callista is the author. And we're just in this place where we're going to welcome in the angels and see what they have to share with us and how they want to impart wisdom. And as part of that, if you would like to get a message, all you have to do is type in yes, please. And we welcome anyone who would like a card. We pull cards till we're absolutely finished. And as Rob would say, until the 27th out. And thank you to my co-pilot, Rob, who helps me navigate these broadcasts so that we're here for you and showing up for spirit as well. So I invite you to actually start to get comfortable, get yourself in a place where you feel connected and ready to kind of let go your day, anything that's been going on, and just really bring yourself back to a centered place. So whether you're sitting or laying down, you want to make sure that your arms and your legs are uncrossed. It allows for the energy to flow more easily through your body, as the divine flow will come through to help just release anything. So we're going to just take a couple of deep breaths. And with each breath, I just want you to focus on allowing your muscles to relax. Make sure your shoulders are away from your ears, that they're down and softened. Maybe focus on your breathing and make sure that you're allowing air to come in deeply and to release deeply. And maybe take in a deep breath filled with spirit and blow out all of your stresses and worries, anxieties, frustrations. And try that again. Breathe in spirit. And breathe out all of the things in your way at the moment, including yourself. And just feeling into the center of our heart space. Feeling the energy there, noticing if it feels bright and light, or maybe it feels a little bit heavy or maybe a little tight. Just allowing the divine energy that you are connected to in the fullest and brightest energy, just to gently allow the heart to settle. Dissipate any fear, worry, anxiety that's been hanging out in there, any disappointment. Giving room for lighter and brighter energy to come through. And sitting in our heart space as it gently expands, inviting in our spiritual teams to this sacred space, to this crystal temple of love and light that surrounds and protects us. Inviting our angels and our guides and our ancestors and all of the mystical creatures and star beings that hold the highest and brightest vibration to just come close to us and allow us to feel their presence, notice the energy, or sense the wisdom flowing. And we invite in the healing energy to work through our physical body, our emotional body, our mental body, and our spiritual body to release any energy that is congested, tight, uncomfortable, or held together with fear. And just beginning at the crown, at the top of our head, releasing anything that is holding us back from fully connecting with spirit, with our team, with all that is. Releasing any pockets of doubt or any places where we are holding on to distrust. And just gently allowing just a little more energy to come through to help center and ground us. And as we move into our third chakra, our third eye in our forehead, releasing the talking self, that inner critic who likes to say, why not? And just gently allowing them to relax. Let the fleeting thoughts pass through. Restoring balance between your creative brain and your logical brain. Expanding our connection to our intuition and our senses that are guiding our physical body and our personal experience. Grounding any spinning we've had, making it difficult to focus or concentrate. And then gently bringing the energy and the awareness down to our throat, opening and expanding our authentic voice and how we celebrate and express our uniqueness. In the back of the neck, all the way up to where the skull connects, down to the tops of your shoulders, just filling that space with support from the divine, support in being and expressing your creative juices, your creative self, dissolving any words of frustration, any words that have held you back, or any words that have collapsed your sense of self. Just breathing in and allowing some expansion in that beautiful blue energy. Allowing it to wash down over your shoulders. Again, gently releasing any tension in the muscles there, any burdens that you've been carrying for yourself, for others, knowing that they'll be there when we are done if they are still needed. Just in this moment, allowing yourself some space to let that go. And feeling that energy as it moves down your arms and down into your hands. And you might even start to feel your hands tingle or get warm. It shows you the divine energy flowing through you and the ability to give and receive. And gently returning to our heart space, feeling that all four chambers are open, and flowing easily and fully, dissolving any blocks that might be contained in there, allowing that divine energy to flow through our bloodstream, nourishing our selves on a cellular level, restoring and repairing, as well as expanding. And even cleansing the lungs of any toxic air that we've breathed in, or any toxic words that we've absorbed into our being. And allowing the lungs room to expand into our rib cage, expand into all that is, knowing that every breath we take in, we are breathing in spirit, breathing in life force energy, making room for even more love to enter our lives, to be given and received. And moving into the third chakra, right at the solar plexus beneath our rib cage. Noticing any ways that our self-confidence or our self-esteem is feeling a little squeezed tight. Maybe you've been holding on to some dense energy, some heavy emotional energy, whether it is of your own or for the planet. And asking the divine energy to just gently break apart that cloud that blocks our clarity of vision and connection. Gently opening and expanding room for our personal fire and our desires to flow freely. Releasing any judgment, any blame, any shame, any resentment that our beautiful organs might be holding on to. Allowing even them to cleanse and release. Any energy that is stuck and not in motion. And bringing our focus and our awareness down to our second chakra, just below the belly button. Feeling that juicy energy filled with water, water of our emotions, water of our creativity, where the womb of creation is held. Where we hold the elixir of life. And really allowing that to fill in the whole area around it, all the way down to the pelvic floor, through the hips, in through the lower back, feeling this golden liquid energy of creative force, holding the base of our body, feeling our support system and our spine with stability. And moving down to our root chakra just below our tailbone. Feeling our balance between our right and our left, our masculine, our feminine, our physical, our spiritual. Feeling the foundation of safety and security, and how that radiates through our relationships with our family and significant others. Building a solid foundation for our financial well-being. Building a solid foundation for our survival needs to be met easily. Releasing any worry, any fear, anything that keeps us disconnected from the earth beneath our feet. And gently re-anchoring our connection to Grandmother Earth, to our Earth Star beneath our feet. Feeling our personal tree of life as we reconnect with our roots and how deeply they flow under the soil, under the earth, and how far they stretch out, supporting and holding us steady. And inviting in Archangel Metatron to help center and steady any of us who are having difficulty. Just giving us a little angelic support, a sense of being rooted in this moment. And now allowing our roots to gently bring up the divine feminine energy to restore and repair and cleanse our body and our energy system. Feeling the warm honey energy as it moves up through our feet, makes its way up our legs and our knees. And if there are any aches or pains anywhere in your body or in your emotions, just invite the divine energy to flow there to help break apart any pain or discomfort or dis-ease. Feeling the divine energy as it cradles those spots within us and around us. And as it works its way up, feeling the energy combining with the divine masculine flowing from above, feeling them intertwining, and allowing our connection to the divine above to stretch up and reconnect to our soul chakra, our soul star, above our head, above our crown, connecting us to the energy of where our soul was first perceived. Grounding our energy in connection to the earth and the moon. Grounding our energy in connection to the earth and our sun. And all of the planets orbiting in our solar system. And feeling our connection grounding to the earth, to our solar system and our galaxy. Feeling the expansiveness of that connection. All of the energy of creation flowing through. Knowing that we are a particle of that divine flow. We are our own star in our own right. And in this place of connection, inviting our spiritual teams to provide any healing, any guidance, any wisdom that we are seeking, or anything that is ready to be uncovered. And even allowing the energy to flow through our karma and through our past lives. Welcoming the energy and the knowledge that we are sending healing 7 generations back through our parents, our grandparents, and beyond. And we're sending energy of healing 7 generations forward. And taking a moment to also ask that the divine connection send healing energy to those impacted by the hurricane in North Carolina and beyond. Sending love and kindness and support. And to anywhere on the planet that needs a little extra love and attention, especially from the angelic realm. And taking a moment of gratitude for all the divine energy flow and assistance here, for our community and our connection, for all who are present for themselves tonight and in the future. And we're going to gently call our energy back to the present moment, keeping our spiritual team close at hand. Feeling the sensation of coming back to our own center in the here and now. Not collapsing our energy, simply reconnecting our awareness into our present moment. And as you're doing that, just gently reconnecting with your body and how it feels. Maybe noticing your fingers or your toes, maybe stretching or moving your legs so the energy is flowing through them. Maybe stretching or yawning. Feeling the texture of the clothes that you're wearing on your body. You may be sensing the air flowing around you. Maybe there's a scent of dinner that is cooking or was cooked in the air. And maybe rubbing your hands together just to feel that energy again, feel it flowing. And just gently bring your awareness back to now. And you can open your eyes whenever you feel ready. Beautiful. Thanks, guys. So, in the invitation for our spiritual teams and especially the angelic realm tonight, to bring any messages they want to share with us, the tool we're going to use for that is the Female Archangels by Callista. This is a new deck for me, but it pretty much jumped off the shelf, so that's always a good sign for me. And I look forward to hearing what they have to say and sharing that with you guys. So if you would like a reading or like a message from your team, all you have to do is type in yes, please, and I'll be happy to pull a card for you and share any wisdom that comes through. All right. Amy, nice to have you. Thank you for coming. Okay, so this card is Archangel Uriel. And this is success through action. Love that. So what some of you might not know is that a lot of the archangels carry the masculine and the feminine the same way that we do. So don't be surprised if you see ones that you normally associate as male. It's the energy of their feminine side that's coming through. And so with Uriel, the success through action, what I'm getting for you, Amy, is that, all we have to do is take one step forward every day. And that is taking action. And it's that persistent action that helps our success flow. And when we hold back in fear, we don't allow the angelic energy to flow through us. We don't allow for success to come to us. We think we have to search it down or fight for it. And it's really, all we have to do is show up consistently over and over again. And that is really the action that needs to be taken. So what I'm sensing is you just need to show up for whatever project holds this really tight, beautiful space in your heart. What's that passion project that you've been wanting to do? And it's guaranteed that it will be a success. Now, everybody measures success differently, but what I'm sensing for you is it's like, all you have to do is get started. And it's just going to flow so easily and so seamlessly. And so anything that your talking head or your inner critic has made up of excuses for why you can't do it, that's just the fear of the unknown talking. Because most of the time, the beautiful stuff that we can experience is just outside our comfort zone. And every time my team challenges me to something a little stretch, we go into that energy. But when we lean in and go, okay, they're letting me know I'm ready. It's time. Success is right there. All I have to do is act. I just have to be a co-creator, and it will all create exactly as it's meant to. So bring in Archangel Uriel when you need a little extra oomph, a little extra energy. The masculine side will bring in like a solid plan and a step-by-step action, and the feminine side will bring in the flow. so that, yeah, you can take steps in the right direction, but it'll just happen easily. I'm not feeling any resistance. So there you go, Amy. I hope that helps. Have a great night and have a great rest of your week. Hi, Deanna. Oh, I love all the blue today. Nice. Oh, and the card matches. So this card is New Earth. And it says, share your gifts. Shocking. I think that's been a theme. So as we're moving through the dimensional shifting, as Grandmother Earth is like stretching her own being out of her comfort zone, out of the 3D model she's held for, a couple thousand years, or more. She's stretching into an expanded version of herself. And that means we're expanding with her, whether we want to or not. And in this place, when we are healers of any kind, we are here to share our gifts. Lots of times we hold on to our gifts because we're worried about what other people will think. But the reality is, like, we're here to share them because other people don't have the same gifts. We many of us have similar gifts, but there's a lot of humanity and a lot of people who need help. So in this new energy, you're being invited to share even more of your gifts. So, if you've only been sharing like one or two, maybe it's time to unpack the 10 or 12 that you actually have. That could also be helpful. We all have different abilities and they are needed at different times. And here in this shifting and changing new world, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending how you're feeling, all of them are needed right now. So make sure that you're putting out there all the ways that you can be in service. And it also can expand how you do things. That way we don't get bored, right? So that we can, if we only do one thing all the time, even if it's, have chocolate ice cream, eventually chocolate ice cream gets a little boring. I know that's shocking to some of you, but it's definitely, it's a good thing to try variety. And it's a good thing to, to stretch ourselves just like the earth is stretching herself. It's time for us to keep up a little bit with her. And so I'm seeing like a new marketing for your business. Maybe something connected to that. Putting yourself out there. Surprise, surprise. All right, dear. Hope you enjoyed that. Oh, hi, Barbara. Nice to have you. I know it's October already. Where did September go? It just like poofed. Nice. So this card, it's a little hard to see because of the light that I have. It says perspective. And it says zoom out and relax. So lots of times when we're really close to a problem, it almost washes over us. It influences everything inside of us. It might make our stomach clench. It might shift our breathing. It's like really hard to disengage from the energy of, the problem. It may not even be a problem. It just might be that there's a lot right compressed together because I'm feeling a very dense energy. And so what you're being invited to do is to basically become the angel, right? So when we step out of the situation and we can look at it like an observer, without our own emotional energy attached to it, and we can just look at it in that way, then it allows our energy system to relax so we're not reacting to the situation. It can allow our breathing to recenter. Um, One of the things that comes up when I'm doing my teaching work is we start in the energy that we enter in, sort of that, our problems walk in the door with us, and then we we move vibrationally upwards or outwards. And so we get that distance. And when we get that distance, we can kind of see the pattern of the problem to shift it and change it. We can see other possible solutions. We're more open to hearing other possibilities from other people. And so when we take that, like we zoom out, it's not checking out, it's not avoiding, it's getting that bird's eye view. But what I'm feeling is like that hovering with the angels and seeing it from their perspective. Nothing is so drastic that it can't be handled or shifted. It's just that we need to get our own reactivity, our own fears, our own emotions out of what we're handling in the moment, because that emotional charge can make it really hard for our thinking self, our talking self to not spin. Um, and one of the things that comes through all the time is that talking self, our inner critic, it only can give us solutions that it's already done. It doesn't create new solutions that we haven't experienced. And lots of times, if we approach the problem the same way over and over and over again, we know we don't get a different result. And so we have to get into a different perspective, a different um, view of the situation to create the change that we want. And it doesn't even feel like a bad thing. It just feels like there's a bunch all congealed. And you just need a little space from it so that you can see, okay, what's the priority? How do I work with this? How can the angels help me move through this situation with ease and grace? Love using that phrase. Because then you move through it, but you don't have to have that struggle energy. So give that perspective energy a try. I think it's great advice for all of us. So thank you, Barbara, for bringing that card to us tonight. Awesome. Have a great week. Julie, nice to have you here. So you got Archangel Raphael, and you're being asked to prioritize your health. I think this is a theme for a lot of people right now. And Raphael has all that healing energy. And so health is a big word. Physical health comes in first, and in the physical health realm, maybe it's just taking a look at how well are you sleeping, and are you nurturing your body in a way that is loving? Are you treating your body like a temple? And I know most of us are not great at that. But thinking about like the food that you're eating, how much water are you having? Um, are you stretching your body? Are you moving it? And if you're having any health issues, like giving yourself a break and allowing your body a chance to heal. Lots of times we try to push through pain or we push through illness, and all that does is make us susceptible to more pain and more illness. And so if things are a little wonky, I would really, take a time out and focus on that. If it's more in the mental realm, because our mental health can take a huge hit, especially as we start to head into winter. I know we just, we're just heading into fall, or, we're just starting fall, but, as it gets darker and the days get shorter, it can feel heavy. And in that heavy place, it can create a reconnection with grief or sadness. And again, that's another thing that it's take a time out and take care of that if that's going on for you. Everybody needs somebody to talk to, and sometimes it shouldn't be our spouse or, our significant other. So I am a huge proponent of using a counselor or a therapist to just even bounce ideas off of so that you can get your emotional energy in a rhythm that feels right for you. And if you don't have a good inkling on what this is for you, just invite Archangel Raphael to come in every evening just to send healing energy through your body, through your health, in all of its flavors. And and if you're good at visualizing, Raphael's color flows can either be like a pinky color or a purple color. Um, I know it can be other colors too, but those are the ones I tend to associate. And again, you might feel the masculine version or you might feel the feminine version. The feminine version is just a little more gentle, more of a caretaker. Um, and the masculine is more like gets down to the gets down to the boom. This is what needs healing right now. So make yourself a priority, and if you need to take some time off to let your energetic body or your physical body reset, then do that, because boy, you've got one temple and it deserves to shine the way you do. Nice. All right, Julie, have a great rest of your day. You're welcome, Barbara. Thank you. Oh, look at all the blue. Thank you, Deanna. Love that. Oh, hi, Mary. Nice to have you tonight. All right. So this is Archaea strength. Basically, this is an angelic version of the archangels. This is the one that is about strength, and her energy is very connected to our inner magic. It says unleash your magic. And magic, not in necessarily, sometimes people are like, oh, magic, that can be a bad thing. It's about your magic is what like makes you sparkle, what makes you shine, like what makes your world and your life more full, more bright, more joyful. And sometimes our magic can just be like showing up and smiling. You definitely have the magic of sharing funny memes and stuff like that on Facebook that make me laugh. But it's that we, similar to Deanna, where it said, share your gifts. This is saying share your magic. Like you have your own magic. Some of us are able to write in ways that bring that out, or we do creative projects, or just sometimes showing up as a magical person, as a magical being, and believing firmly that our spiritual team is guiding us. We can create magic anytime. We just have to be open to it. So it's asking you like, hey, it's time to create some magic. So unleash it. Like, don't store it away in this box on a shelf. Like, open it up and use it and play with it. And see how much joy it brings you and how much joy you start to spread to the people around you. Because when somebody unleashes their magic, others remember how to unleash their own. So it's another way that like when we share our gifts, it reminds other people they have gifts to share too. And it's our way of making the world a better place. So get to it, everybody, not just Mary. And have a great rest of your week, Mary. Thanks for that card. Oh, you're very welcome, Julie. I'm glad you were here with us. Yes, Bob, of course. Bobby Lee. Okay. All right. So your card is Archangel Zadkiel. And this says strengthen your boundaries. And we all need those. When we have that resentment energy creep in, it's because we didn't set a boundary that needed to be set. And sometimes we don't know we need the boundary until it's been crossed. But it's my big indicator is like, if I'm resentful of something or someone, then I know instinctively that there is a boundary I needed to create. And those shift with us as we grow. And a boundary is not a wall. It's not a divider. It's not a keeping out. Because sometimes people feel like, well, I'm an empath, I've got no boundaries, which lots of times empaths don't. But a healthy empath does, because a healthy empath doesn't absorb everybody else's things because they're not theirs, right? It's really important for us to hold our own energy field and hold our own power, and without leaking on others or without allowing others to deplete us or to deplete others. And so strengthening your boundaries can be as simple as learning to say the word no. And no is a complete sentence. You don't have to explain why. Some of us are so open-hearted that we tend to just knee-jerk react and say yes. Oh, of course I'll help you. But we don't check in with our inner self to see if we really have the stamina and the time and the energy to devote to that. And when we don't check in, then we can be resentful that we said yes. Like, I should have said no and I didn't. And we beat ourselves up for that. So by strengthening our boundaries, we can even just take the simple step of saying, let me get back to you. Let me check my schedule, or let me check in with my significant other, and I'll let you know. That can be just one step in the direction of going, no. Like, is there a different way I can help, than the way you're asking? And strengthening our boundaries too is setting limitations on our time. Sometimes it's not picking up the phone when it rings, allowing it to go to voicemail, and getting yourself in a place where you can actually listen to the message. Because sometimes we're not in a place where we're gonna be helpful. And if somebody else has a problem with that, that's their boundary that they need to create. And as we grow, we go through the growing pains, and you set new boundaries. There's certain boundaries we had with our kids when they were little, and then as they got older, we set new ones. And that was never done in a mean way. It was done in a way for everyone to feel comfortable and everyone to feel safe. Boundaries really go back to allowing us to feel safe in our own space, in our own body, in our own mental health. And they can be beautiful, they can be powerful. Other people may not like them initially, but pretty much everyone will respect them when we really hold firm to what we need as a boundary. So invoke Zadkiel when you need a little assistance with that. I'm seeing like putting a rod down and it's spreading, making this like energetic circle around you. Um, I don't know, very sci-fi looking. But hey, if the visualization of that helps, all the more to you. And remember too, boundaries strengthen our immune system. So it helps us avoid getting sick and getting illness. So um, that there's another really good reason for creating them. All right. Thanks, Bobby Lee. Nice to have you. Thank you, Mary. Blessings to you too. Kevin, nice to have you. Okay, nice. Archangel Barachiel. Not one we hear about very often. Live outside the lines. That is so you. So what I'm hearing is that, people often worry that, they're too much, or, we've heard we're not enough often, but then there's also the energy of too much. And that's because somebody else has a boundary that isn't that they're imposing on us. Not in a bad way, but it's like a box, And so it's that creative artist who's allowed to color outside the lines. When we allow children to have a coloring book and just color wherever they want to. Let them just be, right? But as we grow older, people want us to fit in their mold more and more often. And that is exhausting. It is horrendous for our mental health, because we're not being authentic to ourselves. And so living outside the lines is like, how can you spread your color? How can you spread your artistry? And just do it. And not everybody is going to approve, but guess what? You don't need anyone's approval but your own. And one of the things my team says a lot is like, live your life out loud. So many people like press the mute button, and so they're not seen and they're not heard, or they turn their video off, right? But when we live our life out loud, we just allow ourselves to be there. We allowed ourselves to have all our emotions, and we have all that expansive joy that we can share with other people. And we can move people out of fear and into love just by being brave enough to be our own selves. So keep that up. And remember that Barachiel is an angel that you can call on who can assist with that. Because there's no limitations to what we are meant to do or meant to be. And the limitations come from what we've been taught by society, by our families. But that doesn't mean those limiting beliefs are needed any longer. So how can you live your life out loud? Or more so. I love it. I love it for all of us. Thank you, Kevin. That's a great one for all of us. Oh, you're welcome. I'm so glad. So glad that you enjoyed that. Stacy. Another one of my Eldridge friends. Oh, this is so good for you. This one is Source. Return to oneness. Look at that beautiful star inside the rainbow heart. So what I'm sensing for you is that maybe you need to take a little time to reconnect with Source, with the divine, with your highest self, with nature. Sometimes we get caught up in the mundane of the life, or maybe we have, old grief that starts to move through and weigh us down. And um, it's good for us to move that through and process that. Um, but it's always good for us to recenter and reconnect. So maybe taking time out to meditate or do some automatic writing. Um, and just remember that sensation of being connected to all that is and how centering and grounding that is, and how it allows us to feel relaxed and have that relief energy in. And then when we are able to hold that oneness and bring it with us in our heart space as we move through our physical life, um, we don't take on the stresses and we don't take on the negativity that can be around us. It allows us to be lighter and brighter and have more joy and more laughter. And you're somebody who naturally does that well, so it's like maybe taking a little time for yourself to do that would be healing. Maybe it'll heal some pieces in your heart that have been feeling a little raw or a little open from grief, and allowing that oneness energy to heal into those achy places. Um, and remember, you have a beautiful community of people who are here to love and support you. All you have to do is ask. All right, there you go, my dear. Have a great rest of your week. You're welcome, Kevin. Enjoy your vacation. Andrew, nice to have you here. Nice. You got Archangel Ariel. She's inviting you to connect with nature, and above her shoulder, that's a phoenix. And so, in connecting to nature, Ariel is really, she holds a lot of our inner child energy. She holds a lot of the nature energy. She has a very gentle presence. And in the gentle presence, she allows us to transform, um, to become the person that we are meant to be, to relax in who we are. And lots of times that can happen in nature. So many of us have, a really deep connection to the flowers or the woods or the ocean, and finding that connection within yourself, so that as you go through this transformation process that you're in, it doesn't become overwhelming. Because you're on a new journey. And in that new journey, it's a there's all the wonder and the joy of that and the possibilities. And sometimes those of us who have a lot of creativity flowing, we can get ungrounded. And that's not always a bad thing. But when we're grounded and we're connected, we can experience it all more fully. And so she's here just to remind you that nature can help you ground and experience everything more fully. And don't be afraid to call on her. She has a very, I often see her as like a very light green color, almost seafoam green, but a little more yellow than that. And she has, again, that gentleness that works with our inner child. So she can have the playful energy and that sort of frolicking in nature kind of feel when we need to feel that. But all of that will help you through the transformative process that you're in right now as you expand your relationship. Yeah, which is expanding who you are. Who knew? Love that. Love that for you, Andrew. Fantastic. Have a great rest of your week. Ah, you're very welcome, Stacy. We're always here for you. Jackie, nice to see you. So your card is Archangel Jeremiah. Signs, symbols, and synchronicities. So Jeremiah is I sort of the pattern angel is how I think of it. He's the one who shows us repetitive patterns, or he helps us become aware of repetitive patterns so that we don't miss the messages as they're coming in. So those, repeating numbers, or seeing a particular animal, or having interesting dreams, or things happening that are unexpected, just right in the right timing. He is inviting you to take that place of stepping back and having some awareness, because a lot of those things are happening for you right now. And remember too, when we have those signs and the symbols and all of those things come in, they're a confirmation that we're headed in the right direction. Not that there's a wrong direction, but we're headed on our spiritual path direction. And it can accelerate the speed that we move through a particular process if we notice the synchronicities, or notice the pattern, even if the pattern is a negative one. Sometimes we attract, a similar type of coworker, or a similar type of relationship, and we're like, oh my gosh, how do I keep ending up with the same scenario? It's because there's something that needs to shift within you, and that doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It means stop being a magnet for that. So how do I turn my magnet off? And you call Jeremiah in and say, oh, magnet connected to this problem, yeah, it needs to go. And show me how to do that. Show me how to choose differently. And usually just becoming aware of the repetitive pattern, that's often enough to get it to shift, and for it not to be recreated. Doesn't mean we'll create something fantastic in its place, but at least we create something different. But if we can actually learn from that repetitive pattern and see what's like inside us that is used to that pattern, then we can change that. Just because I'm used to it doesn't mean I want it. And so being able to do affirmations on what we do want, and releasing any of the words not or no, because the universe doesn't really know those words very well, because everything's possible. So saying things in a positive way when you're affirming, and just ask for Jeremiah's help, especially this week. See how much more you can become aware of. And this is great for all of us. See how much more you can become aware of when you ask for Jeremiah to show you the signs. And it can be kind of magical fun too, to get into that rhythm and see that it can get really fun and magical. So try it. Thanks for joining us tonight. It was great to have you. All right, Rob, let's get your card. All right. So this is Archaea, patience. And so She's saying to trust the process. So think of this as the angel of patience. And boy, we all need her. Sometimes we just have to let go and allow the process to unfold. Um, sometimes we're in that place where some people aren't going to learn until they've gone through it themselves. We can see it and we can try to help them, but it's not our job, right? They have their own journey. They need to go through the hard way sometimes, like we all do. Sometimes we just go through the hard way, but trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it's meant to. And you're going to need a little bit of patience as that's happening. And so call her in to help firm up or ground your patience, because we don't like to be patient. We like things to happen like boom, boom, boom. But sometimes things have to line up so that they can happen. And you're invited to have a little patience, and allow the message from her to be absorbed. Trust the process. It's all exactly as it's meant to be, and that's a great one for all of us. So, with that, thank you, Rob, for being my co-pilot this evening. Thank you for everybody. You're welcome, Jackie. Glad you were here and showed up. I'm inviting you guys to join us because the wisdom of the ancients is coming in. It's in a slightly new format. So it does have a meditation that goes with the wisdom that comes through, that's channeled through. It's a beautiful message this time around. And it's very interesting because it has a lot to do with the symbolism. And make sure that you like our Facebook page, that you follow us or whatever it's called on YouTube. Subscribe, that's the right word. And also know that I have a bunch of classes that are going to be starting, some online, some in person. So keep an eye out on the Trinity Temple of Sacred Wisdom Facebook page, because all the events will be shared there first. And would love to have any of you join us because it's bunches and bunches. Yes, I don't know. It's like 7 or 8. I don't remember. It's quite a few. But they're all going to be landing. And some of you know some of the guest speakers who are coming in, like Ed Langen is going to be teaching a brand new class on money. For those of us who still have a little trouble with limiting beliefs around money, you might want to tune in, especially because that one's online. So with that, you guys, love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us and holding space for yourself, for spirit, and your connection. And with that, bye for now.